Hey y'all, Nello here, and this is my show. Welcome. And we have a special guest, Perlinda Mae Jenkins. Say hi, Pearl. Hi, Pearl. Anyway, are you guys loving WandaVision as much as I am? This is the first show in a long time that I've decided that I have to watch as soon as it comes out. So every Friday night, my wife and I make dinner, and then we sit down and watch WandaVision, and then she's too cute. And then I'm distracted by the cuteness. And then we watch like 2 hours of people talking about WandaVision because the episodes are too short and we just can't get enough of it. Anyway, I bring up WandaVision because it is directly related to a little warm-up drawing I did yesterday. So I'm going to show you that now. I think it's a good exercise to ink over another artist's work from time to time. There are things you'll discover about composition, lighting, and design, among other things. I'm a huge fan of Michael Cho. I love his sense of design, the way he chooses what lines not to include, and how he uses flat color to stunning effect. So when I came across his pencils for a Vision cover, I thought it would be a great piece to try out some techniques I've been working on in my own work and absorb some of Michael Cho's techniques at the same time. Mr. Cho, I apologize for butchering your work. Just know I did it with the most respect possible. The first thing I did was print out this in blue on watercolor paper. Most of the lines will get dissolved when I add some ink washes, but some will still show through. Blue lines are easy to edit out in Photoshop, so that's why I chose blue. I usually print them so light that you can barely see them, but I wanted you to be able to see them on camera, so for this one, they're darker than I would usually do. You'll see me jump around the page a lot. For me, inking is all about finding the right angle to get the right line. So that means turning the page around, doing my best not to put my hand in fresh ink. It happens sometimes. I'll point it out when it does. I like to get big areas of shadow blocked in first, then go to the other side of the page and work on some fine details while that dries. I repeat the process of working big, small, until the piece is finished. One thing I just noticed as I'm watching the footage is the way I handle the brush for some chunky lines. Remember, you can use more than just the tip of the brush to make lines. You can press hard and use more of the side to get a blocky line like I did to indicate his rib cage. You could hold it at different angles and get a more calligraphic line. I recommend you try out as many types of brush strokes as you can think of with any brush you get, and then think about how they would look in a finished piece. Are some good for rocky textures, fur, smooth, or just blocking in large areas? I just did the contour of his face, and I think this is a good time to talk about line weights. I have one simple guide that works in most situations. If the line is facing the light source, make it thin. If it's away from the light source, make it thick. So if you look at his brow, the underside is thick, the top of his cheek thinner, under his cheek thick again, and that repeats all the way down to his chin. Let's talk about tools for a minute. If you watch my video for my Cosmic Ghost Rider piece, then some of this will be familiar. I'm using the same paper, ink, and brushes, but you might not have seen that video, so I'll go over them again. The paper is Strathmore Series 400 watercolor paper. For my brush, I did all the line work with my Raphael 8404 size 2. For ink, it's Kuretake Black Ink 60, and you can see some other random brushes there. I use a few of them later when I get to adding ink washes. This looks like a good time to talk about feathering. Feathering is what you do when you need to soften a hard edge. You basically have a series of parallel lines that start thin and get wider as they meet a solid black area. The way I do it is I start with the thinnest part of the line and pull my line down so it gets thicker. You could go the other way too and start within your solid black area and whip your line out so that it starts thick and it ends thin. But either way, the concept is the same. I use this technique all over this piece. You can find examples on the neck, temple, pecs, and shoulders. Just out of curiosity, should I do a video all about inking techniques? Is that something that you would find useful? Let me know in the comments. Here's that smudge I warned you about earlier. I really thought I was going to make it through this whole page without a single mistake like that, but it happens sometimes. Luckily, it happened in a place that's going to be easier to cover up, and when I get to the ink wash portion, I'll show you how I did it. After I finished all the washes, I took some white gouache, titanium white from M. Graham and Company to be exact, and used that to cover my smudge and sharpen some of the highlights. The last step was to scan it in and edit out all the blue lines. I hope you enjoyed this inking demo. Thank you, Michael Cho, for posting this pencil sketch on Twitter. You can follow him there where he's at Michael_Cho. He has some great posts there where he breaks down his work from thumbnail to finished piece. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. That's the only way this content is going to reach more people. You can find me on Instagram at HelloPinello and on Patreon at patreon.com/HelloPinello. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.